Hey, this is GemmyD's on Cars.
Hey everybody, this is Dan for GemmyD on Cars, and today I am on the inside of the car to start since it's another awfully rainy day here in central Pennsylvania, but I am driving a 2017 Honda CR-V EX. Now this car has a 1.5 liter 4-cylinder turbo making 190 horsepower. It's kind of a lot of horsepower for a 1.5 liter engine. Cruising on the highway. This car actually has a CVT also, continuously variable transmission, which is something that Honda has been doing in the past with their cars. Now the reason that you have a CVT is I think the prices for making normal transmissions, with the gears, is becoming more expensive, so lots of car makers are doing this to keep their costs down, plus the gas mileage is pretty good. With an engine this small, the gas mileage is pretty good. I'm showing an average of 29.7 miles per gallon, which is pretty good for a car this size on the highway and around town. I like what they've done with this car. This is the fifth generation of CR-V. It's been around since the late 90s, and I mean this is the best-selling SUV in America. Last year they sold like 350,000 of these, which is pretty ridiculous. I'm not sure how that compares to overall, including cars and everything, but I know the Toyota Camry is number one in the whole country, but yeah, this is nice. I mean, it's been redesigned for 2017. They have a different take on the gauge cluster, and it's got this big screen in the middle, which is pretty big. And honestly, might sound crazy, but this screen, it reminds me of the screen of the Ferrari GTC4 Lusso. I mean, it's just huge. It takes up the whole dash, and there's not a traditional speedometer. It just has the number there. And I kind of like what car makers are doing these days with getting rid of the speedometer. You don't need a speedometer anymore. All you need is a digital readout, and it has the tachometer there too. But I like it so far. It's very pleasant to drive. It's very comfortable. The seats are pretty nice. This car is gray with kind of light gray interior, and I love the wood. The wood trim in this car is very nice. It's up there. It's on the dash over here. But yeah, so far, just first driving impressions, it's smooth. I mean, this car will do anything you want it to do. It's not going to be the most exciting drive that you'll ever have, but it's going to get you safely where you need to go from point A to point B. I'm on the way to a bakery to get my wife a chocolate cake. Tomorrow is Mother's Day, and who doesn't like chocolate cake? So we're going to try to go there and see what we can find. Alright, now that I am stopped, I can talk a little bit about the interior. A couple things that I wanted to mention. Up here above the mirror, there's like a concave mirror up there that lets you see in the back seat and see what your kids are doing. There's like vlogception of me both there, but that is such a cool feature. I don't know many other cars that do that. I mean, if I had a small child in the back, you could see him easily right there. You wouldn't have to do the mirror that you put on the back of the seats. um, which is that is really cool. I like the big screen like I was talking about earlier, but it seems a little busy with, if I'm honest. I mean, you have all your home audio phone stuff, but down here you have the climate controls with the buttons. I don't know why they wouldn't just integrate the climate control within the screen too, and that would just take away some of the space there and make it more clean looking. I feel like that's kind of like a theme for this car. It's very nice. It'll do everything you want it to, but it seems like it's a little busy. Like the front grille, there's like all these creases and lines in it. It seems just a little overdone by just a little bit. And same with the back, the tail lights too. This is the 5th generation of CRV. Every single generation has had upright tail lights, going up the left and the right of the trunk. But now they have a little elbow that comes around, and there's like a flat piece. I'll show the outside later, but it just seems like it's a little bit overdone, which is not necessarily a bad thing. And Honda has hit a home run with this car because everybody and their mother has one. But I just feel like they could have just toned it down a little bit. Like I was saying, like this here on the left side of the steering wheel, you have your enter to control the things up there, but this button here to control the volume of the radio, you can either hit the button to go up each time, but you can also like slide your finger down here or up and down to do it. It just seems kind of redundant. Why wouldn't they just show you like a plus or a minus button? It's not a bad thing. It's just a little quirk that I feel is kind of unnecessary. This has tons and tons of space in here. This thing is removable. You have a whole bunch of space in there. You got space here. You got a power outlet. You got nice cup holders, that's very nice. It's all very, very open. Like I said before, the wood is very nice. I love the color of that wood. I like the lightness, the light color compared to the gray interior. There's a little bit of chrome accents on the door and up around there and on the vents and everything. But overall, this is a nice place to be. I'm going to go in the back and see how that feels, but I like it. Alright, I totally just banged my head off the top of that, but this back seat is huge. I mean, this is a mid-size SUV, and I had the seat where I was in front of me, and I've got lots of room. I mean, look at all the space in between there. That is huge. The owner of this car traded in this car recently. She had a Honda Pilot, which is massive. I mean, that's the third row. This obviously does not have the third row, but she was worried about the size difference. But so far, she doesn't miss having the bigger car. I mean, this is plenty big. She has 2 kids. They're 8 and 11 years old. They can fit back here just fine. But yeah, this is very nice. Get your cup holders. Yeah, this is a lot bigger than I thought it would be. Keep in mind with all the kids and their tablets, there's 2 USB ports here for your phones, your tablets. But yeah, this is nice. Bigger than I thought it would be. I'm impressed. Still got the same wood trim. Yeah, I like it. Alright, I am back. I just went to the Pennsylvania Bakery in Camp Hill. There was like 1,000 people in there, but everybody's getting stuff for their moms for Mother's Day. Now, driving this car with a 1.5 liter engine with a turbo, it's very normal to drive, in town like I'm doing right now. When I get on the highway, I'm going to punch it a little bit, see how the turbo feels. Honestly, if you go from a stop sign, you can feel a little bit of turbo lag, just until it starts to get going, but it's not too bad. I mean, it's not like you're waiting. It's not like you step on the gas and you're waiting for seconds and then the power starts to go in. I mean, 190 horsepower is pretty decent for a car this size with such a small engine. And I guess they use the smaller engines for better gas mileage, but still, 190 horsepower is pretty decent. This has a whole bunch of safety features. It has the adaptive cruise control. I'm going to try that out on the highway. It has, I don't know what they call it, but your lane assist. It keeps you in your lane. If you start to move over a little bit on the highway, the steering wheel will vibrate a little bit. I'm going to try that out. But this is a very enjoyable car to drive. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not going to light your pants on fire or anything with the speed or performance, but gets the job done. It'll get you from A to B. In the back of my mind, I am sort of filing all these things away because I'm comparing this to the Mazda CX-5, which is one of the biggest competitors in this class. Haven't got a chance to drive one of those yet, but I would like to compare it to see how they feel. I mean, this car outsells the Mazdas by, I mean, a factor of like probably 10 to 1, but Mazda's a lot smaller company. But anyway, this is not about Mazda. Alright, I am getting on the highway here. I'm gonna try to give it give it the beans and see what she's got. Now, I don't quite understand, I don't quite totally understand how CVTs work with just being one gear. It gives the sensation that there's a gear, I mean a transmission shifting, but the power just kind of surges because it's only one gear. Power feels adequate. I mean, you're not going to need 500 horsepower getting around town. But I completely understand why this car does so well. It does everything well. I can't think of anything it doesn't. It's lacking. Such a small engine with good gas mileage, decent horsepower. It's a winning formula, so that's a credit to Honda. The other thing that's a credit to Honda is how the CVT feels like it's a normal transmission. I mean, 95% of all cars out there have, transmissions with gears, like they've had since the beginning of time. But this feels like a normal car with that type of transmission, so it's a credit to Honda that they've done so well with the CVT. Now, I only think there's a couple automakers that use CVTs. I know Honda and Nissan are a few of them, but it doesn't climb up and down the revs like it would in a normal car, but it's perfectly fine for everyday driving. Like I said before, I mean, Honda has hit a home run with this car. I mean, everybody has these, so, and it's not hard to see why. So they've done a good job. All right, I wanted to try the adaptive cruise control, and I think I just hit the button here, put something up there. All right, I got cruise on, active cruise, lane keep assist. Do you see the little icon right there? Now I got another cool thing about this car. Look, the car's driving for me. See that? I think it just went around the bend for me, I think. Yeah. Steering wheel is moving. I am not touching it. That's pretty cool. Steering required. That's pretty cool. I almost forgot that I had that feature. But yeah, the car just drove for me. I'm going to cancel that out and get off here. That's another thing. In a car in this price point, I mean, this car was probably $30,000 to $35,000. That's some pretty crazy technology for a car of that. At that price. I mean, the Volvo that I drove. I mean, Volvo has, I would think, more advanced technology, but in a Honda, in a mid-size SUV like this, to have that type of technology, I don't think anybody else in the class has it. But that's pretty cool. Way to go, Honda. I was talking to the one owner of this car, Dave. He was saying he doesn't really trust that sort of technology because it is scary. I mean, we're in the early stages of autonomous driving. But the technology has progressed very quickly, in a very short amount of time. Tesla has it, Volvo, lots of the Mercedes has it, lots of other higher end automakers. But that's pretty cool that Honda, of all people, which is a global success, has that type of technology. So, way to go. Alright, one cool thing, when you go into reverse and the parking camera's working, there are 3 different modes you can look at. That's a normal view, that's like a lower down view, and then there's like high above view. You can see the 2 lines that you're backing into. That's pretty cool. I mean, this car has lots of technology and safety features for what it is. It says check your surroundings. I mean, that's pretty impressive. The little grids that are on the camera are pretty snappy, pretty good graphics. Yeah, I'm impressed. The more I'm driving this car, the more I'm impressed with the technology. I mean, I don't even know if I know how I did it, but I got the car to drive itself. I mean, that type of technology in a car of this price point and this scale is very impressive. Right there it has cruise mode, lane keep assist. But yeah, that's pretty impressive. I'm going to try to talk about the outside very quickly while it's raining. Like I said before, I think this is a good looking car, but I just think it's a little bit busy. I feel they could have toned it down a little bit. The grille and the taillights, it's not that they're trying too hard, it just seems like they could have scaled it back just a little bit. As far as the automatic lift gate, now this is pretty big. It seems like this loading height is pretty low. It seems like this is wide and very big. I mean, that's impressive. For a car that looks like this on the outside, it's deceptively big on the inside, in the back seat and in the trunk. I mean, sure, you're losing a little bit of space from a Pilot, which are huge. I mean, I feel like if you had 3 kids, you would need to get a third row. But this owner has 2 kids. I feel like this could do fine with all your stuff. Yeah, it's pretty big. One other thing that's cool about this car, you hit a button underneath the license plate and it goes up, but up here you can do hold to set height. So maybe if you're shorter or taller, you can make it so the door goes up higher or lower. It's just another thing, nice little touch. This is the first time you're seeing my channel, please browse, take a look at all my videos, and hit that red button, hit the subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
She's lighting candles on the mantle, it's a shrine to